Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Fear the Walking Dead video for today. Now that we've seen at least 7 out of the 8 episodes of the first half, and I guess pretty much we did see a full first half since they're now considering episode 8 part of the second half of the season. So let's go through all 7 episodes we got for the first half of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, and let's rank them from worst to best.
Death, destruction, decay, it's inevitable. But from this death comes new life.
Okay guys, so this is going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today. This one's going to be doing a video now that the first half of Fear the Walking Dead has released. I figured this is a good time to do the worst to best episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, the first half of Season 6. So, this is going to be, I feel like, a very debated kind of opinion about these episodes because I've heard a lot of mixed reactions on which one's better than this episode, what's better than this one. I feel like a lot of people, they're going to have the same least favorite episode. I feel like that one's going to be the same, but I feel like a lot of the others are going to be kind of mixed and kind of, mixed up, so definitely, it's all, everybody's, entitled to their opinion, so definitely, I definitely want to hear, if your opinion is, like, way different than mine, I definitely want to hear, what is your list in the comment section below, because I'd like to see where everybody's at, and maybe we can even kind of determine, based off of all of our kind of ratings together, what is definitively the best episode of this half season of Fear the Walking Dead. So, and I think you guys actually might be pretty surprised by my #1 spot, I'll be honest. So, because I didn't even think this was my favorite episode, the #1 spot, until I just put it up there, and I was like, wow, that is my favorite episode of this half season, I would say. So, yeah, anyway, really cool stuff. So, let's get into the list, guys. Of course, definitely spoiler warning if you're not caught up on Fear the Walking Dead. And let's just also mention real quick, the second half looks absolutely amazing. And one more thing to mention as well, too. I do have a new Alicia poster right here of the queen herself, Alicia. There she is right there, a poster of, I got my Daryl poster right here, but then I got my Alicia poster right here for Fear the Walking Dead. This is when she's looking at that creepy guy, and I was like, it just looks too perfect. And you got Fear the Walking Dead and reviews. So I'll put an image here on the screen so you guys can see closer up what that looks like. Looks really, really cool. I think it turned out really cool, and there it is right there in the background. So yeah, that's that right there. Hope you guys like that. And yeah, we got Walking Dead right here, right? We got a big Walking Dead poster, we got a big Fear poster, and then we got a Little World Beyond poster. That kind of describes how the shows are right now, right? Big Walking Dead, big Fear, and then kind of the Little World Beyond. I think that's fitting, right? I definitely think that's fitting. So anyway, sorry, but anyway, let's get into this list. Let's talk about it. Starting off with number 7 is going to be Season 6, Episode 6. Bury her next to Jasper's leg. So guys, yes, this is going to be my least favorite episode of this half season. It's not bad. It isn't. It's not a bad episode at all. I don't think any of these episodes are necessarily bad. It is the weaker episode, though, I would have to say. However, there are still some good things that happen. June obviously is the lead of this episode. We have the explosion of the oil fields, the kind of the question of the end is the beginning people. Who's doing the spray painting? Is it Wes? Is it somebody else? The type of thing. I'm willing to bet it's somebody else. And of course, Virginia gets bit. But see, there's some frustrating aspects. When she leaves John at the end of the episode, when she saves Jenny, some of these scenes like this, it is. See what I mean? Like, it's like there are a few elements in this episode that are a little frustrating, but for the most part, and also John was underutilized, I feel like. But aside from that, it was a really good episode still, I would have to say. However, this episode was shorter, too. That is another gripe I had with this episode. So number 6 is going to be Season 6, Episode 5, Honey. I think this episode actually is still really, really good. It's just there is one kind of aspect about it that I think has really kind of offended the fans, and really offended me, too, is that they really messed up big time on Sherry's character. They really did. I think a lot of the other elements in this episode are good, aside from Sherry disappearing out of nowhere at the beginning of the episode. That felt really off. And then just the Sherry character in this episode. If you take those two things out, this episode is pretty darn solid. I mean, it really is. But those two things do weigh down on this episode a lot, I feel like. And I feel like that is the main reason why I kind of feel like I have to put it at least at a number 6 spot right now. Because, I just, like I said, I really feel like this episode could have done Sherry a lot better than they did. And it was kind of frustrating to watch through, if I'm being honest. So yeah. Number 5 is going to be Season 6, Episode 3. 3, Alaska. This episode is the Dwight and Althea episode. Now, I really like this episode a lot. I think that their banter back and forth is very brother-sistery. I really like it. I like kind of their stuff. We get to see a little bit of Isabel, and the CRM, kind of quickly. And, of course, we do get the reunion between Dwight and Sherry, which... Before we saw episode 5, I was like, okay, episode 3 is definitely going to be like a top episode, of this season. But because of how they did the Sherry stuff, I don't know why. That reunion scene isn't as good for me now. I'm just like, darn it. Like, it's like it's good for Dwight, but I mean, is it? Like, it kind of almost turned him into a villain again in episode 5. So I'm like, man, like, I don't know. I just, that reunion doesn't hit home as much for me anymore. But, and also, Morgan should have had more time in this episode. So there are a few gripes, but definitely still a really good episode and still a number 5 spot, I think is, kind of deserving for this episode. Number 4 is going to be the season premiere, season 6, episode 1. The end is the beginning. This episode was great. This episode is a Morgan episode. Obviously, you got the bounty hunter, Emil, who is after him, sent by, Jenny. And man, just that scene, of course, we got, some really great characters, of course, Rachel, and I forget the one dude that saved him. Who was it? I don't know why, I'm forgetting his name for some reason, but anyway, the one dude that saves Morgan in this episode, I only watched this episode a couple times, so I do apologize for forgetting his name. Is it Elijah? I feel like it might be Elijah. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like it might be Elijah. For some reason, his name didn't stick with me. But yeah, anyway, so I really do like this episode a lot, and specifically, my favorite scene of it is when he's like, Morgan Jones is dead. You are dealing with somebody else now. And then you see him, and he kind of like, he's just got the hat on, right? And he's just like full gear. And then, he rides off. Man, I mean, what an exciting episode, honestly, and such a great start to the season. It was a bottle episode, but it was darn entertaining. I mean, it really was. So, I don't know, that episode really hit home for me. Number 3 is going to be Season 6, Episode 2, Welcome to the Club. This is the episode with Strand and Alicia. This episode was great. I mean, honestly, getting to see Alicia was great. Strand, getting to see Daniel, and, of course, the huge act he pulls in this episode, Carol style. He carols at this episode. And of course the reintroduction of Morgan at the end of it. And just a bunch of scenes with the molasses and the stuff like that with the walkers and stuff. Just an absolutely awesome episode. High, tense episode. And a very, very interesting, kind of decision from Strand at the end as well, too, to kind of send Alicia and Charlie off. Which obviously we have to wait till all the way to 7 to actually find out how that goes. Which is a little disappointing, but I really do like this episode a lot. And I think it has a lot of great parts to it. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Season 6, Episode 4, The Key. So this episode was absolutely amazing, guys. This episode was so good. I feel like John is one of like the best leads that this show has. When it comes to, giving him an episode or something, man, Garrett Dillahunt absolutely kills it. And honestly, this episode had so much. You had the death of Janice. You had, the Morgan, jump scare type scene with the car hitting him. And then he's like, was that an accident? Because now would be a good time to say sorry, I love this stuff, guys. I really do. And basically, we also have, Jenny, of course, the death of, Cameron, of course, and, among many other things, the fight between Strand and John, and just, so much. June, of course, being kind of placed in Lawton by the end of it as well, too. Just such a great episode overall. Absolutely loved this episode. And, surprisingly, it came as a surprise to me, too. I know you guys are about to be surprised by my number 1 spot, but I would actually say that my number 1 spot for this season of Fear the Walking Dead episodes is going to go to Season 6, Episode 7, the mid-season finale, Damage from the Inside. I think it is my favorite episode this season. Getting a chance to look back at these episodes, rewatch, a couple of them again, kind of skip through them a little bit and kind of see them again. I would definitely say this is my favorite. I mean, you had Strand and just all the crazy stuff he was up to in this episode, Dakota going missing, and Alicia, the queen has returned. Finally, Alicia gets her own episode, and I thought it was great as she kind of gets, trapped there at the table and kind of trying to get her way out. You get the introduction to Ed and his crazy self, of course, with the walkers. Some really cool looking walkers in this episode. And then something we've been waiting to see for a long time, Morgan and Alicia finally find each other And of course, Morgan kind of take, Alicia and them, to where he's at, and kind of the group, really the feeling in this episode is the group kind of starts connecting, which I am very, very happy about, as well as the reveal at the end of Grace, and as well as kind of what is Strand going to do. He's kind of in a tough position right now, as well as the face-off between Strand, Morgan, and Alicia, I thought was just absolutely amazing. So as Morgan's like, she's coming with me, and he walks out, like, I love that scene so much. I really do. That scene absolutely gave me crazy chills when I saw it the first time. And honestly, I loved it. I thought it was an amazing episode. It was an Alicia-led episode, so it was, my favorite character leading the episode. Morgan was awesome, as he was in this episode. And, the standoff between Strand, Alicia, and Morgan was amazing. Ed's character was really interesting, I felt. The walkers were really cool, and, Grace at the end, and just what that sets up. I don't know, guys. It felt like episode, and then even a stadium mentioned in this episode. Like, yeah, I feel like this episode definitely deserves the number one spot. I feel like this one may not be one that people agree with 100%, but I don't know, in terms of enjoyment, this was the episode I enjoyed the most. This was the episode I really got into the most, and honestly, it had my favorite characters in it, and it just, I don't know, it was great. It was a really great episode all around. So, that is the half season for Fear the Walking Dead. I do apologize that we do not have 8 episodes to kind of rank, but, it is what it is, I guess, but, yeah. But, of course, we are going to get those other 9 episodes, hopefully, obviously, as early as we can next year, so definitely very much looking forward to that, and should be great. Very much looking forward to the second half. That is my list, guys. Let me know in the comment section below, what does your list look like? I definitely want to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Write your comments in the comment section below. If you guys are new here, click that subscribe button so you can send my videos for Fear the Walking Dead. Follow Dan's Walking Reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another video for Fear the Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.